So I'm Vanessa Langley, I'm head teacher of Arbourthorne Community Primary School. I've been head teacher here for 15 years. Arbourthorne serves an area of high disadvantage. It's a brilliant community. Life's not always kind to people living within our community, so we see that our role is to work in partnership with our families to make lives better ultimately.
This school is situated on the edge of the city of Sheffield. We're a two-form entry school. We have higher than average numbers of pupil premium and special needs children. We have about 29 different languages that are spoken and celebrated across our school.
The school sees its role in the community as the central point. It's been the central point for a number of years. It's a place where our parents come to for help and support. You know, we bridge that gap to other agencies.
I think Arbourthorne is an innovative school, so we're always thinking one step ahead about how we make children's lives better and families' lives better. We have a life skills house, so we converted a caretaker's property a number of years ago, and every child in school from nursery to Y6 will go through the house and develop a set of life skills. We've always had families coming in to work on their own literacy and numeracy skills and co-working with a college. But this added another dimension, and we actually worked in collaboration with them and listened to what they felt the needs were for their community.
We started an Even Better Arbourthorne to show that a primary school could become a centre for community engagement and advancement, using its facilities, its resources, but also access to parents and the community as a base for making society better, solving issues in society and addressing poverty.
An Even Better Arbourthorne is a partnership between the Centre for Innovation and Voluntary Action, SEVA, and the school, working with a community lottery grant to basically improve people's lives through developing parents and community's sense of responsibility for each other. So it's essentially like creating a cooperative. Rather than rely on relief to improve poverty, this is about working together to improve each other's lives.
It's different from previous schools' initiatives because it's got a heavier focus on community and on impacting upon the lives of adults as well as the children.
It's experimental, we're doing all sorts of different interesting things. Together we hope they will make a difference, and together we hope that we will be able to inspire wider societies to see a primary school as a base for addressing issues in society.
Our learning programme suggests that an Even Better Arbourthorne is quite a distinctive school-based initiative. Often school initiatives designed to engage the community are delivered by professionals, but an Even Better Arbourthorne relies on an innovative, interesting volunteer programme where volunteers take more and more responsibility and ownership for the initiative themselves.
So these projects have been a way of responding to need within the community. So Community Fridge distributes hundreds of bags each week of surplus food for the community to use.
The Community Fridge matters because it does so much for so many people and for different things. We combat food waste in the Arbourthorne community and across Sheffield, which is an amazing opportunity to have. We feed around 80 families a week and they take home a bag of food every week, and not only are they getting to use healthy food and learn kind of new recipes and make new meals, but they're also getting to save food as well, so it's really rewarding.
The Community Fridge has created a forum in which people can talk about what they like, what they'd like next, what they're excited about, what they're interested in, really feeling like they're part of something special.
So Family Feast and the Slow Cooker Library gave us new contacts and new access to new families, which we'd never had before, which was pretty powerful. It was an inclusive meal, so it was really nice for volunteers to come and cook, and they were using sometimes bought food, sometimes surplus food, and they got to make a meal for families every week and enjoy it. With the Slow Cooker Library, I think it's an incredible project because we're giving parents the tools to not only cook healthy meals at home, but they're using a slow cooker, which obviously is a more efficient way of saving on costs. And it's really rewarding because the amount of kind of learning and skills that the volunteers and the participants turn around and say they've got is incredible. The Things that have made the community fridge work, first and foremost the volunteers. The community fridge would not open without the incredible team that we have on them on Tuesdays and Fridays.
Growing is a priority for an Even Better Arbourthorne because one of the things that we saw in that first summer of the pandemic was our small family group that was working here in this garden come together and support each other with ideas about growing and what they could do to produce food for the community fridge.
We've got an incredible growing area, so more recently we have been harvesting fruit and vegetables grown, and families get to take it home. They get to try new fruit and veg that they grow here. They get an opinion on what we get to grow, and they get to put it in food at home, and it's really nice for them to see it go from seed to plate, I think.
The majority of the project has been around food, growing, the polytunnel, developing those aspects that parents were really interested in developing, learning to understand the environmental aspects of life and sustainability, and using that in the kitchen in school, developing a strong sense of community.
We realised we were running out of space, and we had this massive field where we felt that if we took a small portion of it, we could provide more outdoor learning opportunities.
We have beautiful surroundings at Arbourthorne Primary School. We have a polytunnel, we have an orchard, we have a fire pit where we can gather and tell stories and be a community and a team.
We work with the University of Sheffield, with the architecture department, and 15 MA students spent about a month and a half working with us to design solutions for that outdoor space. We've ended up with this incredible space which includes a polytunnel which grows food all the year round and is also a learning space, a wooden outdoor learning classroom which also doubles up as an outdoor kitchen. We've got a fire pit, planted lots more trees alongside the school's year fives who are tree champions, and we've also recently installed a sensory garden.
Our hopes for using the outdoor space are to run some STEM clubs where we can invite parents from the community in to work with the children and have a go at some fantastic science projects, and also to develop a community garden, a community kitchen where people from Arbourthorne can come in with the children, grow some fresh vegetables and some herbs, even have a go at cooking them with their children, and just creating a really nice environment where families can develop and be together.
One of the biggest successes of the programme has really been surviving during the pandemic, but not just surviving, but also being really creative about how to use digital and online approaches to help people survive what was a really traumatic and difficult experience. That included Little Cooks in Lockdown and a story for Arbourthorne, for instance, as well as online bingo and events for people to cook together and be together during the pandemic.
One of the big challenges in COVID was food poverty. Prior to COVID, we had about 30 families accessing our community fridge, and over the pandemic, this almost tripled in numbers, and we now have over 80 families accessing it. So we partnered with the local church for Spires to gather food and provide for the whole community. We reached out to many more supermarkets, and we also partnered with some restaurants who provided us with pre-made food.
So initially I was a parent volunteer down at Red Robin House doing crafts with the children. I started to get more involved as time went on, and then there was the opportunity for this job, which is volunteer coordinator, and I went for it partly because I enjoyed it so much and partly because I love the school. The purpose of the volunteering programme is to ensure that the projects get run. We need lots of help for those. They do so much. They really are the life and soul of an Even Better Arbourthorne project. The volunteers get involved with everything. For example, the community fridge requires people to collect food, pack food, store food, label food. There's all these types of jobs that they need doing. The polytunnel, it might be watering, seed planting, harvesting, all those sorts of things.
It gives our parents a chance to come and feel valued, you know, have a sense of worth. We are building confidence in these parents, and many of them move on to employment after doing some volunteering within school. We've had volunteers in school for a long time, many years. Parents are allowed to come in and, you know, use the school facilities, you know, sit in the community room.
Our research has shown that the volunteers have benefited hugely from being involved in an Even Better Arbathon through reducing social isolation, increasing confidence and self-esteem, getting out of the house more and having more experiences.
The highlight for me has been seeing the volunteers grow and the family that it's created. We've got a lovely little community within the community that are all want the same thing.
An Even Better Arbathon really does matter, because having poverty in this country is unacceptable. We're a rich country, and the primary school is an obvious base for doing something about this.
Education is the child's best life chance, and schools can't do that in isolation. A school has an infrastructure that already exists, and projects like this can build on an infrastructure where you've got large numbers of people already coming through a space.
I think in terms of you know, the wider community, it's about reaching out to the parents that we've already established those relationships with, but then reaching out further, you know, letting the community know what we're about and what we do and how we support our children and families, but that we're also there for them as well, because actually we're at the heart of the community, which is so important.
It shows that schools are more important than ever in bringing people together and communities together to create a better Sheffield, and that you can achieve your goals no matter what circumstances or you find yourself in.
The biggest impact of the Even Better Arbathon project has been an increase in self-esteem of members of the community who have joined us.
So watching them develop and grow as volunteers and seeing them build resilience and confidence is quite incredible, actually.
An Even Better Arbathon shows the different kinds of roles that schools can play in communities. I think there are 3 important things we can learn. First, schools are not just extensions of the state where services can be delivered, but they're extensions of home and family, and they really help make communities thrive. Second, schools aren't just about providing aid, but providing mutual support networks and ways in which people can help make their lives work better for them. And third, you can see through an Even Better Arbathon that by providing a physical infrastructure, an outdoor space, digital activities, the infrastructure is also put in place for social, community, well-being and resilience.
It's been really lovely to see the Even Better Arbathon project grow. I've especially liked seeing the journeys that the volunteers have been on. I feel quite overwhelmed sometimes, just because I've had a part in it.
You can work together collaboratively to really make a difference for a child by working as a community and not seeing the two in isolation.